Woo! When I asked my son to make that video, it's funny. It made me realize I've been here about 6.5 years, and has it changed our lives a little bit or what? How'd you like Jackie Bowman? Let me tell you about Jackie. Did you guys understand $25,000 a month in Ohio? I mean, you guys in New York and in California, you're going, that's a surfboard. That's a surfboard. You know, New York, that's a ticket to a play. But $25,000 a month in Ohio is life-changing, right? Here's what I want to talk to you about today. I just want to tell a couple stories. In fact, my son, funny, when he was making that video, he says, Gene, Dad, he calls me Dad. He says, Dad, what's this deal, the greatest visionary? I said, it's not me. He goes, what do you mean? I said, the greatest visionary is you. You make the vision for your life. We all create a vision. Do we not? So I don't understand why in our lives, and especially if you have kids, have you ever told your children when they go to school, hey, just perform average. I just want you to live in that shack over there. I don't really want you to live life to the fullest. Now, so here's what I'm going to tell you. I did not have a great vision till I was 30 years old. I'll tell you the story. It happened here in Dallas, Texas. I was a brand new agent. I was an accountant before. Anybody a bean counter before? There's 2 of us in the room. So I was a financial analyst. I wanted to get into real estate. I did not do well my first year. I'm admitting it right now. I wasn't Rookie of the Year. I wasn't Brent Gove. I wasn't Jackie Bowman. I wasn't Bill Price. I failed. So I went to a 3-day seminar at the end of my first year. You guys ever remember Hopkins? Okay. And I went to a 3-day seminar, and I said, I better get this gig. I better study. I came back with a plan of action. For the first time in my life, I wrote everything out. I spent days, I spent hours. I'm going to sit so many open houses. I'm going to call so many FSBOs. I'm going to knock on I had the plan of action. And in January of 1986, I had a meeting with my manager. I'll just tell you, her name was Agnes. I'm not going to say the last name. She was a sweetheart. I went to Agnes. I'm a 30-year-old kid. I'm going, I've been told by many, this might not be the career for me. And she goes, what are you going to do next year? And I said, Agnes, I got the plan. And I take it out and I put it on the desk in front of her. I said, look at this. I'm going to sit this many open houses. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And by the way, I've written my goals out. I'm going to sell 50 homes. And Agnes started to laugh at me. It's a true story. I mean, you're a 30-year-old kid. You're thinking, wait. I took all this time and went to the seminar, and she's laughing wholeheartedly. She goes, nobody in our company of 700 agents has ever sold 50 homes in a year. This is 1986. You got to understand. In 1986, there weren't big teams, Veronica Figueroa. There weren't big teams, Jeff and Marcy Willems. There were agents. And people got on TV for selling 24 homes a year. Thank heaven to Maya Grin. I mean, she started laughing at me. A guy sitting next to her was Mike Brody. Mike was my broker at the time, and he goes, Gene, you can do anything you want to do. Okay? Now, let's fast forward. You got to find your Mike Brodies. Okay? A year goes by. I'm at the awards banquet. Now, again, my first year, I'd failed miserably, Nolly, miserably. Not like you. I know you're a superstar. And seriously, I went, oh, God, I'm at the awards banquet. Now I'm 31 years old, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I'll get an award. Top 20. No. Top 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I go, well, I guess I don't get anything. Number 1. Gene Frederick. I was shaking. I mean, I was like, what? This is my second year in business. My second year, I sold 56 homes my second year in real estate. By myself and one assistant. And Kyle, I did not miss a baseball practice, right? My family was the most important thing to me. But here's what happened. I'm at the awards, we're backstage. They had just given me the top award. I was shaking. I just went, this is crazy. Now the president of the company, Susan Dunn Arnold, comes up. Gene, that's amazing. 56 homes in a year. It's never been done out of 700 agents. What are you going to do next year? And I said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I said, here's what I'm going to do. Here's all the open houses I'm going to sit. Here's all the things I'm going to do. And I'm going to sell 100 homes next year. And she gave me the same look that Agnes gave me the year before. Like, who are you? What are you thinking? Nobody sold 50 homes in a year in our company, and you're going for 100 your third year. What'd you all get from that story? Think big. What else? Shout it out to me. What's that? Believe in yourself. That's beautiful, Tommy. Make a plan. Massive action. Stay away from Agnes and Susan Dunn Arnold. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Guys, this brings it home because I'm back in Dallas where I started my real estate career. Here's what I want you to write down. I want you to put massive, huge goals down tonight. I want them in your own handwriting, and I want you to carry them with you for a year. Every single day you take them out and you look at them. If you want to rewrite them, you rewrite them. It was the first time I did it in my life. It's the first time I did it in my life. I'm just telling you, it will change it. Everybody goes, no, Gene, I got it on my computer. How personal is that? How personal is it that it's on the computer with little numbers? You write it down. You commit to it. You pretend like your career is going to go down the tubes if you don't do it. And I got news for you. Mine was. Thank you, Mike Brody. This is the other thing. Find yourself a champion. Just so you know, you're going to write down your goals. You're going to go, Gene, I'm did this. Do not share it with people that can't think big. Write it down. Please. It's the worst thing you could do is you go home and you tell your spousal unit, oh my God. And they look at you like you're crazy. You share it with your family. You share it with people, you go, I thought they were thinking big. Here's what happened to me. I've done it for 35 years now, and everybody asks me, how did you know EXP was going to work? They didn't know me, did they? Glenn did. Jason did. When they first met me, I said, this is going to work. And they go, why? And I said, well, I'm going to write it down. Booyah! Come on. I come to EXP. Glenn, I don't know if I ever told you this story. It's funny. A lot of these stories I'm telling for the first time today. We go to our first board of directors meeting, and he's got a new CEO. And we go to dinner that night. And the new CEO, and by the time at that time, we had about 2,000 agents, I think. And we go to a big dinner, I forget where it was, and everybody at the dinner is like, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to grow? How are we going to go from 2,000 to that big $12,000 number? And the new CEO looks at me, Glenn, it's a true story, and he goes, what do you think we're going to do, Gene? I said, well, let me show you. I said, here it is. Here's our path to 100,000 agents. And he looks at me with the same look that Susan Dunn Arnold gave me. You are bizarre. You don't understand, Gene. Companies are built like this. And I said, not in my life. Not on my watch. Guys, it's not rocket science. The problem is you're going to leave this event. You're going to hear a lot of stuff today. You're going to hear a lot of stuff, the things to do. The problem is you don't believe you can do it. You really don't believe you can do it. In fact, you want to kind of go like this so you don't upset your life. I got news for you. Upset your life. That's what I want you to do. It's very, very important who you hang out with. It just is so important. By the way, they showed A.J. Mida's picture up there earlier. He's like my twin brother. You know, A.J., I'm sorry, they're going to confuse us. We do it every time. My son's in the room. You will see someone that looks somewhat like me. I just love that my son's here. Here's one last story. 10 years ago, are you guys getting anything out of the stories? Okay. 10 years ago, I'm a team leader at a small little company called KW in Austin, Texas. It's really funny sitting on this stage. We were at an outdoor happy hour with realtors, and I got to tell you, it was really funny because Dell Computer in Austin is famous. Michael Dell is the most famous human being in Austin. He's worth about $25, $30 billion. A little bit more than Glenn. So anyway, just a small. So Dell is on this end. I got to tell you, it was visual. It's outside. It was a great day, beautiful day. Outdoor happy hour with Dell. Over here, the KW happy hour. They had free drinks. We had to pay for ours. And so all of our realtors were over there. And then they'd come back. Okay, we're right at the end. I'm the team leader for this group. There's about 40 or 50 of us. And here comes Michael Dell. He is a famous individual in Austin. He's walking in. It's like, you know, all the famous people you know from the .com world. And he's got to walk through realtors. Now, guys, I love you, but you're a little grabby. And you are hard to get through. I mean, they are grabbing at this man like he's Muhammad Ali. Oh my gosh, I met you when my son works for you. And they were just, the poor guy was just barely getting through. He walks through, and outside, we were outside, is his limousine, a Mercedes Maybach. Anybody seen him in the magazines? His driver opens up the door, Michael Dell gets in. Driver closes the door, they take off. And what do the nice realtors that I used to manage back then say? Really? Really? He can't drive his own car? What was that? And I said, well, it was, I've seen it in the magazines, it's about a $500,000 limo. Oh, really, and a driver? And they were yada, 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 just tearing this poor dude apart. Guys, I remember it like it was yesterday. I stopped them. There's about 40 of them. I said, gather around. I said, can I ask you all a question? I said, if that $500,000 car and the driver cost you a nickel a day, would you have it? And they all go, yeah. I said, it's a nickel to him. That cost him a nickel. And I looked at all of them, and I was dead serious. I said, don't begrudge anybody their nickel. I said, someday I'm going to have my nickel. I'm going to have my nickel. And you don't begrudge me my nickel. Now, that was 10 years ago. And I've had on my vision board for 10 years to get a little yacht. Susan and I went to Poland in June. Susan picked out, a day and a half, picked out all the colors for the yacht. And I told Susan, I said, Susan, when it's a nickel to me, when it's a nickel, we're getting our nickel. You understand? Pat Hayes, don't begrudge anybody else their nickel, my friend. Jeff Willems, don't begrudge somebody their nickel. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. You're thinking too small. You're thinking way too small. The next 3 days, I want you to climb the mountain with me. I want you to make big goals. I want you to make goals that make everybody in your family go, oh no, they're crazy. Because I got news for you. I need friends to spend nickels with. Thank you very much.